Alright, so today is going to be a quicker video for sure, for multiple reasons. One, it seems like the sun is starting to come out, so it's going to make my phone really hot, and it's going to just shut down on its own because it's iPhone. So I just came from the doctor, my primary care doctor, and I went to her because for years now, I've been feeling some numbness on my left side, the left side of my body. And she was asking me like where exactly I feel it. And I mean, I told her a few times, like, it's the left side. Like, I mean, it's like this, it's, this side of my face, my arms a little bit, my extremities, my legs. And it just feels like kind of numb sometimes. It just feels like it's kind of going numb. Initially I thought it was poor circulation, and she shut that down immediately. She's like that's not poor circulation, which I guess makes sense. But what kind of scared me was that she mentioned MS, but she seemed like really unsure about that. And she said that they're gonna do some imaging, they're gonna do some brain scans and see what's actually going on. I wish I hadn't waited so long, especially like with her throwing out, conditions like MS. But I don't know, for some reason I'm not that worried about it. I'm obviously, hopefully it's not MS. I'm not saying that if it's MS, I am gonna be worried, but I'm saying like in general, I feel like I'm gonna be okay. But hopefully I'm not just being, I'm not somebody who's like blissfully optimistic. That's not my personality. But when it comes to this, I don't know, like I just feel like this sense of calm about it, at least right now. But we'll see. We'll see what the brain scan says. But yeah, it's again, I wish I hadn't waited so long, especially like because I've got multiple health issues going on right now. The same doctor put me on a heart monitor recently, and she got the results back, and I got a message saying that it looks like an atrial ectopic rhythm, heart rhythm. And she said that it's not something serious, but she said that she wants me to see a cardiologist to see what exactly is going on. And that I'm actually a little bit worried about, because that feels more serious. At least like the numbness on my left side feels like it's something that comes and goes. I was telling her, I was telling my doctor, and it's very sporadic. And when I do feel it, like I just feel it for like, I'll feel the numbness or whatever on the left side. I'll feel that for like a few days to a week, and then it goes away, and then it comes back, and it comes back like I was telling her it's like once a month, or like sometimes it'll even be like I said once a month to once every other month, but sometimes I'll go months without feeling anything. So I can see why she's like really unsure as to what it could be. Like, yeah, I could tell like she was really perplexed about it, and I'm perplexed about it too. So I'm really, really curious to see what the brain scan says. Yeah. But what I am more worried about is the heart thing, because that seems to be getting, I can feel my heart fluttering, and this is something that's only been occurring in the past several months. But I feel like a flutter in my heart. I have heart palpitations fairly often, and I'll have shortness of breath. And again, that's been a more recent thing that seems to be like getting worse a little bit more rapidly. So I guess like, it would be really concerning, like if it's all connected. However, I am also anemic, and I recently got blood work. I get blood work done every so often, and when I went to get the blood work done recently, when I got my labs done last week, for my most recent lab appointment, my doctor was saying that like that low iron can cause that. It could cause palpitations. So yeah, so I'm becoming a little bit more open, because that particular doctor at the blood labs place, where I get my labs done to get my blood checked, I went there to get transfusions done, to get blood transfusions, and I was like, no, I told her like I'll see if I can just drink some iron tea, because there's this iron tea that I've been drinking from this herbalist that's based in New Orleans, and people rave about her teas. So I'm like, okay, like I'm just gonna drink this iron tea. And I was also taking iron pills, but I've heard that iron pills don't really work. Your body doesn't really absorb a lot of the iron in those pills or something like that. So it's like, well, I don't want to waste time taking these, these pills that are like kind of big. I don't want to waste time taking them if my body is like hardly absorbing them. But I don't know. And I've been trying to eat more greens, but anyway, everything I've been doing, I haven't been doing it enough. I will say that even the iron tea, I haven't been drinking it enough apparently to see any results, because my iron is still pretty much, it's pretty much at the same level that it was at when I first started going to this doctor for the to have my blood work done. So I told this particular doctor, I told her that I am open to go ahead and get blood transfusions done, especially if it's going to help the heart palpitations. I forget what you said about the shortness of breath, but the shortness of breath and the heart palpitations are definitely. I usually don't have one without the other these days, so I assume it's related. But yeah, if it's going to help with that for me to get a blood transfusion, then I am more open to it. When I told my dad that I'm looking into getting blood transfusions, he was like, oh, you should avoid that, because there's this NBA player that got AIDS, like, I don't know, like back in the 90s or something, from a blood transfusion or something like that. And I'm that was upsetting it was upsetting for me to hear him say that, not because it made me worry, although I am a little bit worried. I was worried about that a little bit before he said that. But it's just like, why would you say that to your daughter? Why would you, say, because what I said to him was, I'm like, I asked him when that happened, and, and he was like, oh, that was years ago. And yeah, I think he said the 90s. And it's like, okay, like, I think I would want to say that now it's less likely that I can get AIDS from a blood transfusion. I don't know, like, advancements in medical science, I would think that they've worked out the kinks with that a little bit more at this point, but I'm going to do more research on that, and I need to ask that doctor for more information on that. But yeah, it's like, why would you say such a scary thing? But anyway, but all in all, I do want to get a blood transfusion done. But I do want to make sure that it's, I do want to know like what process they go through to make sure that the blood is clean and stuff like that. But I'm not that worried about that either. I think it'll be fine. I'm still early in, the game on YouTube here. But if anyone comes across this video and you see this and you know anything about blood transfusions, if you've had a blood transfusion and it went well, or if you know anything about it, please comment down below. Also, if you know anything about like numbness on the left side, any of the things I've been talking about, please comment down below. One of my main objectives for this channel, like I've said in a recent video or in a previous video, is I want to be able to like kind of like build a community here, and for people that are dealing with, like I said, narcissistic parents and overbearing parents, but also people who, just anyone who's dealing with some of the things that I'm dealing with. I just, it would be nice to have a community here on YouTube. So feel free to comment, and let me know like what y'all's experiences are, with whether with health issues or the stuff that I've mentioned, or parents, but we're gonna get into all of that. We're gonna get into it. But my main objective for this video was to talk about like my health issues. So like I said, yeah, in addition to the numbness on the left side, me being anemic, the abnormal heart rhythm, my, with me getting older, my back is becoming more of a limitation. My spinal cord and the spinal fusion that I've got on my spine. Oh my gosh, sorry, there's a I just saw a squirrel running on a power line here. That's so cool how they do that. If anyone was wondering what this is, it's just a little screen that's covering my window here. It helps the sun not, it helps my arm not get super dark in the summertime. It just kind of, yeah, tempers the sunlight a little bit. I highly recommend it. It's like a window screen thing. But anyway, I feel like I haven't been looking in the camera very much, especially in this video. I need to work on that. I want to look at you guys. But what else did I want to talk about? Yeah, I've been thinking about applying for disability, to be honest. And it's really hard for me to talk about that. It's really hard for me to hear myself say that in communication. And I haven't told many people, but it's hard for me to say that because I don't want to come off as like just some lazy ass, you know? I really don't want to come off as lazy because I'm not a lazy person. If anything, like I constantly like have to be doing something, whether even if I'm just sitting still absorbing a bunch of information from a podcast or something, like my brain has to be stimulated. It has to be. But I mean, between the health issues that I've got going on and my anxiety and me taking care of my father right now, I don't know, it feels like something, and I feel like I have like a real shot at actually getting approved for it. I might even look into getting like a caseworker or something like that. I don't know how it all works. I did already speak to a lawyer about it, and he kind of told me that, like it is, you have a high chance of getting like, not approved for it. And he said like, if and when that happens, he said, then I should contact him and he can help me get approved the second time around, but it's such a long process. So I'm aware of all of that, but yeah, I feel like I should at least try with everything that I've got going on. But yeah, I definitely worry about my health, a good amount these days. Like I said, like the numbness on the left side, I'm not particularly worried about that because it's so sporadic. But I mean, I'd be lying if I said when my doctor mentioned MS, when she said that, I'd be lying if I said that I was, just totally chill about that. Like that definitely, like, obviously sets off alarms in my head. Yeah, but in the meantime, I'm about to like, because of the heart palpitations I've been having, I've been sort of slowing down on my workouts. But I think I'm gonna get back into working out soon here, probably today, if not tomorrow. Yeah, just so I can like, get my body feeling like a little bit stronger, but I'll just have to like, just take it easy with the workouts that I do. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to get into for this video. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Like I said, please comment below if you have any comments on anything that I've mentioned. Please keep the comments respectful. There's no need to be, there's no need to be rude. And even if you are, after everything I've been through, rude comments are not gonna, because I know there's people, obviously there's people on the internet who say mean things just for the sake of being mean. It's not gonna penetrate me after everything I've been through in my life. And you guys will hear more about that. But yeah, keep it respectful and, leave a comment for me. As I grow on this channel, I'm hoping that we can not only, I'm hoping that, like I said, I want to build a community on here, and I want people in the comments to even, communicate with each other, especially on the topic of like narcissistic parenting. Because I've read through some comments on Reddit about narcissistic parenting, or just like overbearing parents, whatever. And there's people who have had it much worse than me, much worse. My issue is that I'm having a hard time escaping the situation because I now have to, or I know I don't necessarily have to, but it's because I'm taking care of a parent. I just feel so trapped. But yeah, more videos to come on that, obviously. And aside from that, I appreciate if you came across this video and you watched it, especially if you watched it all the way through from beginning to end. I really appreciate you. And like I said, leave me a comment, give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and yeah, see you guys next time.